The new detour route is exit 125B, which is the 22nd Street exit. So all traffic that is currently getting off at 17th Street exit will be relocated to or directed to the 22nd Street exit. We know that 22nd Street has a tremendous amount of traffic already. It's coming from the southbound direction. And because of that, we've made some modifications that will help, and I'll talk about those shortly. If you go into the BJCC, you would exit also at 22nd Street, and you would travel up to Reverend Abraham Woods Jr. Boulevard and over to Richard Arrington and go up to the BJCC. And the same thing is for the detour. If you're going back to 17th Street, you'll travel that same direction, Reverend Abraham Woods Boulevard. As I mentioned, we realize that there's a tremendous amount of traffic that will be entering at 22nd Street exit. That's in both directions. Therefore, we've made some adjustments, and what we've adjusted 22nd Street. If you can look at the map, we will close 22nd Street southbound, and the only movement that will take place at that direction will be 22nd Street southbound and entering the ramp to the interstate going southbound, 59 southbound. And also, we'll be closing the through movement if you're traveling northbound on 59 and exit 22nd Street. You can't make the through movement and go across 22nd Street at that location. It'll be blocked at this point. Signals at both ramps will be turned off. By doing this, we're creating a free flow movement in both directions for the ramps that are exiting 5920. If you're traveling southbound, you'll have dual ramp lanes to exit free flowing. If you're traveling northbound and exit on 22nd Street, you'll have a free flowing right turn. All those movements will carry down to Reverend Abraham Woods Jr. Boulevard. And when you get to that point, you'll have dual rights that you can take going west, or you'll have a left turn, or you have through movements also, 3 lanes of through movement. By doing this, we're creating a free flow movement from the ramps, which should allow motorists to flow because of the increase in volume of traffic that we'll have exiting the interstate. Another change that we're making is that at 17th Street, north of the interstate, north of 9th Avenue, we're going to change it from a one-way to a two-way. That would allow motorists also the flexibility to get back to 17th Street if they choose to use an alternate route. There will be alternate routes that will be listed on our website. It is not up, it's not on the website at this point in time. Before the end of the day, we will have them on the website, and you can click on that tab and you will be able to go and look at alternate routes that may be available. We're going to only show the signed route as our permanent detour, but we realize that motorists may want to use alternate routes, and we're going to encourage motorists to use alternate routes. And we will show some of those alternate routes as a drop down on our website. So look for that. Go to 5920bridge.com, and the webpage will have it clearly shown where to access those alternate routes. With that, if you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer those questions, and we also will be available also to answer questions after the presentation if someone wants to call or come by.
I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone. If you have a question, go ahead and ask it in just a second. If you don't mind, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take two questions that are here. Todd Dewey to Jarvis, he has asked, when is this project scheduled to start?
We're going to close the ramp on May the 31st, 2017. It will be closed for at least a year.
And that's for at least a year?
Yes.
And Rachel Lundenberg has asked, when is 17th Street being changed into a two-way?
The same day that the 31st, around that same period of time, we should change it to a two-way.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone. If you have a question, let's just be courteous and go ahead and ask away. Does anyone have any additional questions? Megan Hayes has asked, May 31st is the date for the 22nd Street closure. Jarvis, do you want to clarify which areas are being closed and not? I don't believe 22nd Street is being closed, is it?
No, we're closing the ramp at 17th Street. When it's 2nd Street ramp, which is exit 125B, will be the detour exit that we will use. However, we will be making some closures on 22nd Street underneath the interstate to accommodate the free flow movements for the ramps coming off of the interstate.
Can you be a little more specific on 22nd to Jarvis? You say you're closing it. Are we closing it so we can make that just one-way traffic coming through?
I've got the drawing up for 22nd Street. If everyone will look at that, we're actually going to close 22nd Street. Currently, 22nd Street is a one-way southbound, and it has several lanes. We're going to close it just north of the interstate, and you'll only have one movement, which will be traveling southbound and getting on the interstate going southbound on 59. There will not be a through movement through the ramps, south of the ramps on 22nd Street. This is where it'll be closed. Just past 9th Avenue is where the barricades will be installed. And also, if you're traveling off the ramp going northbound on 59, you get to the bottom of the ramp, you can't go across 22nd Street. That will be barricaded also. But you will be able to make a free-flowing right turn movement because the signals at the ramp on the north side and the south side will be turned off. So if you're traveling southbound on 59, you'll have two lanes to make those movements without having to stop. The same thing as you're traveling northbound. You'll be able to exit the interstate, have a free flow movement. You will not have to stop until you get to Reverend Abraham Woods Boulevard.
And that was done, Jarvis, so we could open capacity to move more traffic down 22nd south of 59?
The goal is to try to get the motorists off the interstate. We realize that the volume of traffic will increase because 17th Street exit is closed. And that increase in volume could back motorists onto the main line of the interstate. We want to make sure they get off by allowing that free flow movement.
Megan says, thank you. But Megan, we want to make sure you guys understand, so thank you for the question. Rachel has asked, I believe you said 17th Street becomes a two-way on the 31st, and the other closures mentioned, like the exit at 125A or on May 21st. You want to go back through the dates to Jarvis? I believe everything closes on the 31st. Is that right?
That is correct. May 31st, 2017, when all this will take place.
So, Rachel, there's nothing on the 21st. Everything will happen simultaneously on the 31st. All right. Anybody else have any questions? The chat works well. You are also unmuted if any of you have any questions that you would like to ask otherwise. Okay, and to Jarvis, I believe you're going to be making some appearances and you have availability. If anybody else has not scheduled time with you, do you have time to meet with them one-on-one?
I'm open today. I think Linda has already Public Information Officer has already scheduled a couple of meetings this morning, but you can call Linda and get on my calendar, and we'll be able to go through this in detail here in the office if we need to answer further questions.
Megan Hayes has asked, will these slides be available on the website? Yes, Megan, the detour maps will all be available on the website. If you go to our website, they'll be up this morning. We're processing them now. We just didn't want to get ahead of the schedule. So they will be up there probably before lunchtime at the latest, maybe in the next hour, I would guess. But there'll be a link at the top of the page where it says traffic alerts, and there'll be a link there that says 17th Street detour maps. And you can click there, and it will have these maps you've seen today. It will also have additional alternate routes that will be available for people who might be traveling from 65 or other areas of the city that may want to avoid this before they get to the 59 interchange. So yes, they will be available. Also, this video of today's presentation will be made available, and Linda will send the link out for that this morning. Did anybody else have any other questions?
Seems like one other popped up.
Megan was saying thank you there to that one. Okay, and again, all of this is available. It's all available for your public use in broadcast. We do have one request. We know that you guys will want to get this information out to the public as soon as possible, and we appreciate that. But can you guys also suspend this on your calendar for the 30th and 31st? We recognize this is a major closure. We recognize that no matter how much advance information we put out, this is going to be a major impact to the drivers in the Birmingham area, but it is simply part of the process we have to go through to redo all of these ramps and bridges. So we would ask that, I know you're going to cover it now, but could you get with your assignment editors and please make sure you put this back on the calendar for the 30th and 31st, and we will work with you to make any availability we can. I know DeJarvis has said that he will spend whatever time is necessary to help make sure we get the public as informed as possible. DeJarvis, do you have anything you'd like to say in closing?
We just thank everyone for working with us, and ask everyone to be patient with us as we progress to better the roads in Birmingham.
Okay, everyone, this will be available on the web for playback later this morning. Linda will send that link out. Thank you so much for your time. Goodbye.